I remember a couple years ago, before even going to CDO school, I had one dream, and mine was to get my own truck, get my own trailer, and start my own trucking company. But I had $0 to my name. What I want to do in this video is I want to talk about how did I save $60,000 to start my own company, because that's not a small amount. It takes a lot of financial discipline. So before I talk about any of that, I want to get in the truck because I do have a load to go pick up, and it's only about 10 miles away. So let's go pick it up and then we'll continue talking. All right, so a little bit of a backstory. Before I even decided to sign up for CDO school, I was going to college full time, and I was also doing Uber and Lyft on the side after classes. I remember I used to pick up a lot of truck drivers at that time, and they used to always tell me, man, when you start your own company, it's so good. I was like, how is the trucking industry? They're like, and some of them used to say it's bad, but what I realized was people who own their own truck, they were always giving out big tips. They were always happy. They always had positive things to say. So I started doing my research. I went home after work, started learning what the trucking industry is all about. And it took me almost a whole year while I was still going to college to learn what this industry is about. But at that time, I realized I think a $60,000 threshold will be really good to start your own company. So if I want to get a used truck, a trailer, all the permits, around $60,000 would be a really good range. If I have saved up, I can go start my own trucking company. But at that time, man, I had $0 to my name. All the money I was making from Uber was pretty much just going into me buying shoes, clothes, just pretty much just spending all of it. Really no financial discipline when I was young. And I'm talking about, this is like 6-7 years ago. So I started learning about money, started reading a lot of books, and just started overall just building financial discipline at an early age. And at that time, I believe I was 22, 23 years old. So that's when my eyes really opened up of the potential my future can have if I just lock in, right? So what I started doing was, I was like, okay, my aim was to start saving $60,000, and I was attending CDO school. So I had about $8,000, $9,000 saved up. Out of that, I paid $5,000 to CDO school. The rest of it was just in the back to pay the bills. And then after CDO school, I was like, all right, my goal was $60,000. I need to save up. And the moment I save up, I'm going to start my own company. So many of you watching this video are going to wonder, does it take $60,000 to start your own trucking company? And the answer is no, it does not take $60,000. The reason I was going towards the $60,000 goal is I was going to use $25,000 for the down payment on my truck, trailer, pay for the insurance, permits, all that stuff, right? That comes with starting your own authority. And the rest of the money that was going to be left over, I was going to use it just to keep it in the back in case I ran into issues, my truck breaks down when I'm new. Because when you're new, you don't really get paid right away. Sometimes it's 30 days, sometimes it's 60 days. And I knew that before even starting. So that's why I was going for that $60,000 number, where I can have at least $30,000, $35,000 in the back in a separate account. So I'm always one step ahead and my company does not fail. That was my mindset. And that's the reason I was going for that $60,000 number. But I only used $25,000, and the rest of the money, luckily, I still haven't used it. It's still sitting in my account. I filled my maintenance fund, emergency fund with that money. But so far, man, I haven't really had any issues with my truck. Everything has been good. But I'm about 2 miles away from the shipper. Let's make this turn. And the shipper should be right here to my right. And they don't seem that busy. There's only one blue truck there. So, wait, what? This entrance is closed. I have came here before, and that was always the entrance I used. I don't know why it's closed, but let's go up there and see if there's another way to get in this building. It looks like this one is closed as well, man. I don't know if I need to go around the building or what. But yeah, this is closed. What I'm guessing is probably just gonna turn around and then go on the other side of the building, because up there is closed as well. So let's do a U-turn. I think I got enough space to turn around. I mean, let's see. No, I'm not gonna make it. I don't think so. Nope. Yeah, it should be good now. Yeah, I'm guessing it's on the other side of the building. I think when I turned on the lights, I needed to turn right away rather than going straight. So let's get to the other side of the building. So let's make a left here. And yep, it says right there, shipping to the left. I don't know why, but what I noticed recently is all the warehouses are pretty much empty, even though the rates are really, really good. So I don't know if the freight is pretty much down or what. But yeah, guys, let's go check in. It looks like I am at the right gate.
Are you picking up or dropping off?
I'm picking up.
Pickup number.
It's 104.
Alright, you're all good to go. Head over to the shipping office with that number. They'll help you out over there.
Alright, thank you. Found the shipping office. It's right here. Let's go in and check in. Hey, how you doing? I'm here picking up. It's 104.
This is the same, right? I mean, this is the destination?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You found it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I have you go to door 37?
Door 37.
Do you need a seal or?
You can give me a seal.
Okay.
Yeah. 37?
Yes.
Okay. You'll give me a call when it's
Yes.
done? Okay. Alright, I got door number 37. It's on that side. He was having a tough time finding my pickup number, so I'm glad he was able to find it. He was asking me, he was like, did you come to the wrong location? I was like, no, it's the right one. But yeah, hopefully, I'm glad they got everything figured out. Let's back into door 37. Door 37. This one right there. Plenty of space, so let's back in. If you're someone who's new, man, just always take your time, never rush. Nobody's judging you, and you don't want to end up hitting something and then that things end up going on your record. So that's my advice for someone who's been in this game for many, many years. So while I'm sitting here waiting to get loaded, I want to talk about exactly what I did that helped me save $60,000. Majority of the people don't even have $5,000, $10,000 saved in their emergency account or even in their savings account. So for me to build on financial discipline at such an early age helped me get closer to success compared to other people. So the very first step I did was I realized I needed to put $600 aside every week for the next 24 months, and that will help me get to my $60,000 range. And it's not as easy as it may sound. Having the discipline to put $600 aside into a savings account and then doing that every week for 24 months is very challenging. There was some weeks where I wanted to spend the money. There was also some weeks where I seen the savings account go to $15,000. I was like, you know what, man, I'll just take the 15,000, go on a vacation, and then I can just do it again. It's very easy, it's very tempting, but I stuck to my plan. So after I graduated CDO school, I found a local company, Ozorco Trucking, where I did my training, and then after that I applied for Werner and a couple other companies, Umar Trans and two more, right? So I was working pretty much right out of CDO school every week. I think in 24 months I only took about a couple weeks off, so 2 or 3 weeks off. But every week I was working, I was making close to $1,400 to $1,800 every week, and then after taxes I think close to $1,200, $1,100, and then on some weeks where I was driving more miles, after taxes it was like $1,500 every week. So every time I got paid, put $600 every week into a savings account and never looked at it. So before even paying myself, before even spending on bills, before even buying food, taking takeout, going out to eat, buying whatever, right, luxuries, I was basically treating the savings account as like another bill. So $600 was due every week, and I was putting into savings account. And I think where a lot of people make mistakes is when they get paid, they inflate their lifestyle, and that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to get paid, and then after paying your bills, you're like, man, I got like $800 set aside. What I'll do is let's go eat out. Let's spend $200, and then the next day let's go spend $200, and by the end of the week you got about $150 to $200 left, and that's what you put into your savings account. And then that's not going to get you nowhere. Where I had a goal in mind was to get to the $60,000 range every week, $600, 24 months. I think it took like 26, 27 months, but I got to my $60,000 range, and the journey was not easy. First of all, 24 months is a long time, and every day you're out there working. I was doing like 2,000 miles, 2,500 miles. And even when I was driving, I realized that's not something I want to do. I don't want to be just out there, just driving, chasing miles, chasing money, right? Because the more miles you drive, the more money you will obviously get. But then at the end of the day, man, you're not really building anything. You're just working for a company. And I realized at that time, I was like, I need to just get to the $60,000 mark and start my own company where I don't have to chase miles to make money. But the second thing I did was I tracked down every single dollar I spent. And the way I'm able to track down everything is I literally write it down on a piece of paper. I remember when I was working for a company, I was getting paid $1,500, $1,600 a week. And I was like, after my personal bills, I should have $1,100 saved up. And after paying my bills, I was like, why do I only have $800 saved up? Where's the rest of my money going? And I realized at that time I was spending almost $5 buying a bag of chips during the week, sometimes a drink, sometimes a burger. And those things added up. And I was not writing down my expenses. So I was like, I need to start getting in a habit where I start writing down every single dollar I spent. And that's what I started doing, and which helped me put almost, I think, $200, $250 extra in my pocket, because I was not spending on useless things. I was buying groceries, bringing home cooked meals with me in the truck. And that helped me build financial discipline at such a young age, where now that same technique I use for my own business. If I'm spending anything, even today, I track down every single dollar, and I know exactly what's coming in and what's going out. Money management is a really, really huge deal when it comes to starting your own business. And if you're someone that wants to start your own trucking company, you should track down every dollar. And I guarantee you there's probably almost $100 to $200 that you're spending that is just excessive money that you should not be spending. And the only reason you're doing it is because the amount seems small.
Yes, can you please come to the office to sign your bills?
Yes, I'll be there.
Thank you.
Yep, bye. All right, so I don't know where the point number 2 ended because I received a phone call from the shipper telling me I'm all loaded up. But to conclude point number 2, basically I started writing down every single little detail, which helped me put almost $200-300 extra in my pocket. And if you're someone that's watching this video that's having a tough time tracking expenses, I would recommend just get a piece of paper, get a pencil, get a pen, and just write down every single dollar that leaves your bank account, even if it's 50 cents, even if it's a dollar, if it's $2, because I'm telling you, after 30 days, those small purchases do add up, and you will put more money in your pocket.
Thank you so much. You're good to go.
Thank you. The plan is I'm gonna head to the yard, park my truck up, and then go home and just come back out tomorrow morning to get this thing delivered. The drive is only about 3.5 hours, so super easy drive, super easy load. And I got this one booked at $1,250. So the rate per mile on all miles comes out to $6 and above all miles, which is really good. The market has been really good, guys. If you're someone that's an owner operator, you should be asking the highest rates because everything is on fire. The rates are really high. Some loads are paying like $6 a mile, some are paying $8 a mile. And if you go above like 1,000 miles, those kind of loads are still paying like $5 a mile, all miles. So everything has been pretty good in the trucking industry as of last couple of months. But right now the plan is let's head back to the yard and park this up, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, got back to the yard, picked up the load. This delivery is dropping off tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. and I got about 217 miles to go. Again, if you're not in the academy or you didn't join the academy, I already shared basically all this information in the academy. And from now on, what I'll do is I'll start uploading weekly updates, behind the scenes, and also just more insights about the trucking industry to my academy, because those kind of content may get boring on YouTube because they're just talking business, growth, and stuff like that. But right now, I'm about to go get some Chipotle, get something to eat, then go home and come back out tomorrow. So let's go continue with our video of the strategies. And last thing I want to talk about when it comes to saving money, especially big amount of $60,000, it all comes down to how bad do you really want it. For me, only thing I could think of back then before I had my company was I want to start my trucking company. That's the only focus I had in mind. That's the only goal I had in mind. And I was getting close to that goal every day. If you're not someone that wants it bad enough, it doesn't have to be the trucking industry. It doesn't have to be starting your own company. It could be anything. If you want to get into, let's say, sports, you want to get into starting your own HVAC company, construction company, you want to go become a doctor. It all comes down to how bad do you really want it. Because if you do something, what's going to end up happening is the first 3 months, 6 months, you're going to be fully motivated, and then you're going to slowly start falling off your goals because you're not going to be as focused. So my advice for someone, and that's something that worked for me, was you actually have to be crazy about the things you want. And that's the only way you will get it. If you're someone that feels motivated during the nighttime and you're like, oh man, during nighttime, I'm going to go start my company, and by the time morning comes, you're like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. Then you're not someone that's going to end up becoming successful. And that's what I realized very early on in life. Trucking was one of those things where I was sleeping at night thinking about trucking. I was waking up thinking about trucking during the day while I was even going out with family. I was like, oh, I'm going to have this company. I'm going to get another truck, 3 trucks. That was before I even literally started working for a company that was in CDO school. So I was crazy about this from day one. And that's one way I think I became successful, I guess. I saved 60,000. Is for me, money was never the thing. It was all about doing something on my own. So to sum it all up, if you're someone that's looking for some type of advice, man, it all comes down to how crazy or you can be to achieve your goal. So that's all it comes down to, just that, I guess. But yeah, man, if you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also, I teach on my academy. I have my own trucking success academy where I take on students. And if you're someone that wants to get in the trucking industry, you're someone who wants to start your own authority, you're someone who wants to end up growing in the trucking industry, then I do have an academy where I do teach. I have lessons on there in which you can find helpful. Like, if that's something you want to check out, I'll leave a link in the description. But right now, I'm almost here at Chipotle. I'm gonna grab some food because the last time I ate today was in the morning. And hopefully whatever I talked about in this video, some of the things do help you guys out for those who are looking to save money. Because I understand, man, especially when majority of the people don't even have like 5,000 saved in their account, to starting your own company, which takes 30,000, 40, 50,000, it can become challenging. But if you're dedicated, man, if you're someone who can stick to his goal, I think you can achieve anything in this life. But yeah, man, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.